Good afternoon, good morning, and welcome everyone. Thank you to attend our webinar from Course Digital today. For the title is How to Transform Production Planning and Enhance Productivity. If you have any question, please feel free to drop in our Q&A box. We will pick up the questions near the end of the event. So for today, it will take around 1 hour webinar. Before we start, please let me introduce myself and our colleague Peter. My name is Haritai. I am Southeast Asia Sales Manager of Course Digital. I'm located in Bangkok, Thailand. I look after Thailand, Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, and Cambodia regions. My background, I have more than 20 years experience in fashion, retail, manufacturing, and technologies. Along with me, as I mentioned, I have Peter. He is Regional Solution Consultant of Course Digital. He has over 18 years experience working in garment and textile industry to implement FastReactPlan based in crowd planning software solution in Asia region. In the last session of today's webinar, we are proud to have Mr. Charampon, our guest speaker today. He is Managing Director of VT Garment from Thailand. He joined us to share the value experience of digital transformation to drive his business improvement and growth. Today's agenda, we will start to update you 5 industry challenges nowadays and in the future, and how it impacts to your day-by-day planning operation. After that, I will give you the idea of the planning excellence, how it helps to stay ahead and support your business. I will then get Peter demonstrate how planning tool could drive the business change and enhance manufacturing performance. As I mentioned, in the last part, Mr. Charampon, he will share the real business case why business must digitization. At the end of the webinar, we will allow 10 to 15 minutes to answer your questions from the Q&A box. So looking nowadays, I'm sure that all of you have been involved in fashion industry journey. I believe all of you aware and encounter several challenges, but the question is how to prepare for challenges and be alert to opportunities. The leading fashion companies must prioritize and apply the technology and strategy to manage for the coming year. We, Course Digital, we understand this challenge better than anyone, and we classify them into the following 5 factors. The first one, speed, how the buyer demands and increase speed to market. Reduce lead time affected your business, correct? And how much your business is on speed and replenishment. Personalization, with consumer driving increasing complexity. Do you track the number of your stores, orders? How you manage to achieve the sales? More work in less time mean longer hours and pressure on time, right? And your team gets suffer. Innovation, with increasing workloads and reduced time available. How easy to free up your team to focus on innovation and strategy to drive improved performance. Cost, how are increase in the cost of development and manufacturing affect your margin? How sort of initiative are you taking to improve efficiency and eliminate waste? The last one, responsibility and sustainability. How do you ensure that the time allowed to make garment reflects a sustainability, fair standard which support ethical treatment of your workers? So all of this challenge, what it will be affect to your day-by-day planning. The efficiency factors directly impact the cost of manufacturing and drive on the profitability of producing the garment. Cost is done with an assumed efficiency, typically based on the historical production information with a safety buffer. But this is often reduced to win orders as garment price under constant pressure. So look at the example here. We plan 80% efficiencies, but when we compare, you only achieve 50% efficiency. That means the cost variance by 65 cents, which turns to the profitability loss, $1,950. That is just for one order. But how many orders you produce per day, per week, per month, and per year? That is really huge cost effect. So what situation could impact your capacity and efficiency that lead the costly sacrifice across the production run? Planning the style at the line level, which is not efficient and can easily lead to 10% reduction on the plant efficiency. The urgent order rush pre-production activities and material purchasing that force shortcuts and impact plans change and potentially to less efficiency lines. The result of plan change drive the further impact as the worker take time to learn the new style, facing non-productive time, and this is another 10% loss. The delayed drive increased pressure in the production line as they play catch up, and it can lead to rework, cost another 5% production time on the line. The further impacts from poor efficiency include increased cost of material due to you need to recut the fabric, high cost of air shipments, and a future lower supplier rating with your brand and your buyers. So in summary, the total efficiency loss can be up to 50% from planned cost of manufacturing to actual cost of manufacturing, which significantly reducing your profit margin. So how the modern planning to plays the major role to support the business, to increase profit margin and reduce cost. These are 4 key elements which consider to entire planning excellent processes. First, solving capacity. Second, the secondary operation, for example, cutting, printing, embroidery, etc. Third, critical part activities include development and sampling. And the last one, material supply to meet demand. So what happens if one element change? It definitely affects all others. So what the business should take an action to enhance your overall planning process. You need to have better communication and coordination. You need to check your daily update plan compared to your actual to see the potential problem and try to solve the problem in advance. You need to have you need to have continuous improvement by using your KPI monitoring to check and improve overall performance. What FastReact solution could help your business? These are for the 4 key elements that providing the best-in-class system as the single version of the truth. Our planning system is dynamically planning tool, which handle the critical planning challenge, as I mentioned earlier, and it can maximize the manufacturing capacity and efficiency. How it can do? It will support the manufacturer to do faster and more accurate order confirmation process. We have pull system to drive the on-time production start. It can help you to smoother your production line with fewer stoppage. And it very important to reduce firefighting and last minute change. At the end, it will improve data integrity and reduce data entry. So now is the right time to show you FastReactPlan capability. Peter will help me to demonstrate the solution, and it will give you to understand how FastReactPlan can cope with all of the planning industry challenge. Peter will lead this live system demonstration while I am doing as the manufacturer representative. I will ask him the different planning cases.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So I will start sharing my screen on the system. So what you are seeing on screen at now, right, is the FastReactPlan system, right? What ma'am mentioned, it is the best in class production planning software solution in the market, and you know, when ma'am will be playing the role of the manufacturers, asking me some question while I will go through some of the key features and the functions on the model within the FastReactPlan system. Okay.
So Peter, I have the question. When new buy receive, how can we quickly check available capacity and the material ETA it matched to our plan or not?
Okay, right. Good question there from ma'am or a representative of manufacturers or factories. Right. So what you are seeing on screen here, right, and is the FastReactPlan high-level planning board, or what we say, or we can call it like a master plan, factory allocation plan, right, in whatever way you want to call it. Right. So on the left-hand side here, what you can see is the factory name, right, or it can be your country name. So, you know, for example, Bangalore, Chittagong, Dhaka, and so on and so forth, or it can be factory name, right? On the right-hand side here is the loading bucket. So it's basically the loading versus capacity of your order allocation, right? So seeing different colors, you are now looking at the monthly bucket, right? So we have January until, you know, at the end of the year, right? We have different color representing the capacity loading versus capacity loading of each month for each factory, right? We have the green color, which is showing that you are okay with the loading, right? You're just right with the capacity loading, so it's about 90% to 100, right? You have yellow color, which is the light and the dark yellow color. That's about 100 to 110%, being a little bit overloaded, where you will probably be able to manage your loading by fixing the problem. And then you have the pink or the purple or the violet color, where it's too much overloaded. So it's like over 120%. You know, if I put my mouse there, you can look at on the top left-hand corner. This, for example, this Shenzhen in the month of April is like 164% overloaded. Okay, the darker color represent the firm orders or the confirmed orders or the POs or the SOs that you have received, which is why all the darker loading colors is within the first 3 months, right? The later from April onward, right, until, you know, until the end of the year, towards the end of the year, is more for the forecast or the booking orders, right? Forecast for the booking orders, which is, you know, not confirmed orders, unconfirmed orders, okay? Coming back to the question that ma'am asked, so when we have received a new buy, right, how can I quickly check my available capacity? Okay, now we are looking at this in a monthly bucket. If I want to, I can change it to the weekly bucket, right? So I can look it by weekly. Now we can see that, you know, I have a weekly bucket going through the different month in different week, right? So if I want to focus just on the group of Hanoi, right, just to show you a quick example, right? So I can choose to see only the group of Hanoi. So now you can see here, right? I've got the capacity booked, not fully booked, but I can see that in the month of May, towards the end of May, last 3rd week and the 4th week of May, I don't have any orders planned there, right? It's blank. It's not loaded at all. Okay. So if I look at this and I go to Hanoi, now I have received a new buy coming in, right? new orders coming into the system automatically from your ERP. So let's take a few examples here where I've got received like about 10 sales orders from my customer, right? We get imported into FRP directly. So very quickly, right? You can automatically plan these orders onto your factory. Okay. So what I can do is I can select all orders and then I can just auto load all of them. Okay. If you focus here in the like what I said in these 2 months, in these 2 weeks, in the 3rd week and the 4th week of May. Right. So if I auto load these 10 orders or 9 orders that I have, you can now see, right? Very quickly you can see that this 2 week is now loaded with orders. Yeah. So it's a very quick and easy way, where you can automatically plan these orders on a certain set of rules or anything that you have set within the system. So now I can see that, this 2 week has got orders. However, you can very quickly see, okay, in the last week of May, it's too much overloaded, right? It's too much over. Why is this happening? Because most of the time, your customer will always give you orders and then say delivery dates will be towards the end of most of them will be towards the end of the month. So which is why it's overloaded. So as a planner or as a factory managers, what you will have to be doing is, you then have to adjust your plan, right? To make sure to balance your capacity. You don't want your worker to be sitting in this week and have no work for about 40%, right? While the other week has got overloaded and you have to work on the overtime. So what I will do here very quickly is I will try to adjust an order. If you see, while I'm moving my orders of these orders towards the earlier week, if you look at the bucket at the bottom, you can see that, the pink color or the violet color now changed to yellow, and the one at the 1st week now become green, right? So green and yellow is still manageable, right? So yellow is slightly overloaded, okay? However, when I move this order, you can now see that this strip has turned, or this order, this PO red 3 has turned into yellow, yeah? So there's a problem with it. That's why it's showing another color. So what I can do here, if I drop the order here, and then I can, of course, go in and check, right? What happened to this order? Why it has turned yellow, right? So there's a problem with my fabric ordering. My fabric ordering, it means that I've got to order this fabric earlier. Right? It's showing 5 days late. So system is highlighting and showing the warning that there's a problem with these orders because you move it a week early. It means that you have got to talk to your supplier. You've got to talk to your purchasing department and see if they can order the fabric earlier by 5 days. Yeah, and that will then solve the problem. Okay, thank you. Yeah, next question.
Okay, it's good, right? I think immediately when we auto load, we can see the problem and we can highlight, if we can order the fabric on time. Thank you, Peter. So go to the next question. So when we already load the order, the next one, so how can I quickly view my style and orders problems? Because, if problem come up, we need to immediately solve the problem in advance.
Okay, sure. So I think the question is, how can I quickly see any style or any order that has problem, and then by seeing and viewing those orders or style that having problem, you will then have the ability to quickly or fix them or try to find out the root cause of those problems in advance. So what I'm going to be showing here, it's what I call a line level planning board, right? Some people call it Gantt chart, some people call it planning board. In FastReactPlan terminologies, we call it line level planning board, right? So basically what you're seeing here is each line here is one sewing line, right? So one sewing line, okay? Right. Capacity being set up, orders being planned onto the line, right? With different colors, again, with different colors. So FastReactPlan is always very nice and very good with highlighting things with different colors. These colors can be predefined if you want to have a different colors to show a different problem, but these are the standard colors that we have on FastReactPlan. Okay, so think one of the key problem that every factories or every manufacturer usually face is about an order going to be shipped delay. It's going to be shipped on time or it's going to be shipped delay. So it's going to be delay shipment, right? So FastReactPlan use light blue and dark blue to represent any orders that is going to be shipped late or late for shipment. So for example, if I put my mouse onto this light blue color order, if you look at the bottom here where it shows float here, if I put my mouse here, you're able to see that this order is going to be shipped late for 2 days, which is why it's showing light blue. A darker blue means it has got a more delay shipment. So we can set the system to say anything more than 2 days or 3 days delay, please show me in dark blue. Then it will show it like that. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So this is the first thing that usually a lot of people try to look for if we have any orders going to be shipped late. Okay, now the next question is, I know this is going to be shipped 5 days late. I know this is going to be shipped 7 days late. I know this is going to be shipped 2 days late. But what's the quantity? How much of this order is currently planning to be shipped late or planned late? So I have a rotate view where I can look at my late quantity. So if you focus on all this light blue and dark blue color, if I change my view to late quantity, you can now see, okay. So this much of the quantity is going to be shipped late. So if I put my mouse exactly, so one order here or one strip here now has two colors, right? Gray and light blue, gray and dark blue. So now if I put my mouse here, I can see at the bottom left-hand corner that I've got about 60 pieces which is going to be shipped late. For this one, I've got about 143 pieces which is going to be shipped late. So very quickly, I know how much is planned late. Okay. Now we have orders being planned late. How am I going to fix the problem, right? You can either add OT, add overtime, you can add more manpower, or you can split the orders to be made in a different line so that you can catch up with the delivery. Okay. Before trying to split an order, I can change another view to look at my product type. Okay. So I know that this order is going to be shipped late. I'm making knit jacket. Here I have some free capacity, right? So I will have the tendency to try to split this order and make onto this line because it's a continue in the same product type. So it will not lose too much of the efficiency. Right, so if I change back to my late quantity, very quickly I can split this late quantity. See, so it's only taking out the late, and now I plan it here. Continue in the knit jacket line. So now this order is on time. I can pull up this order. So this order is only a little bit late. So very quickly I can solve the problem by changing the view, looking at how I plan in another line. Yeah. So this is the first point. Okay. The second point that I would like to mention about, showing about how I can view the order problem is the yellow and the orange color. Yeah. Yellow and orange color represent any orders which do have your pre-production activity. Some people call it timetable, some people call it time and action, some people call it critical path, or any pre-production activity that is linked to all these orders and are currently delayed is going to show in yellow and orange. Yellow is the events or the activity that is a normal one. An orange one just represent that we have a very, very important or a very critical event that is going to be late, which is why we specified in orange. Sorry. Yeah. So if I look at this one, right, this PO 1051 blue one, right, I can go in and I can view in and check that I've got my PP sample approved. going to be late for 5 days. I've got my issue markers going to be late for 2 days. My PP meeting should happen 2 days ago, but it hasn't happened. So which is why it's showing as yellow, right? Okay. Of course, trying to move this backward, forward, if you have to fix the problem, or even this one, if I try to move it a little bit backward, now my yellow color is gone. So it's dynamically linked with the plan, right? So whether after you got the problem, you then can think whether you want to go in and check with these responsible people. So Peter and David are responsible for these 3 events. Then you need to talk to them whether can they fast track this event and do it within today or something. Yeah. Okay. Another quick thing that we can do also. So for example, this order is currently planned and they have some production update which is more than what they have planned, right? So what I need to do is I need to bring this order forward to today's date, right? So if I try to bring this order to today's date, you can see, right? Something is happening with this first order because you are making more than what you planned. So you bring it forward. But the orders that's going to start production in the next 1.5 months, immediately you can see that there's some problem with this one, right? So you can go in and check, oh, okay. So I'm now having problem with my PP samples. I need to make my PP sample quick. So you don't wait until the order is going to start production in next week, then you start fixing the problem. You fix it first because you're seeing it 4 weeks in advance. Okay? Okay. Yeah. I think yeah, these are the key things about order problem that we can solve in advance. Yeah.
Thank you, Peter. I think
Yeah.
it's very useful, yeah, because we can see all of the dairy issue that can happen in the factory. So I think the next question, as I mentioned earlier, right now, the styling is very complexity and we have a lot of fragment order. So how can we handle that kind of complexity? And this, we need to plan, a small order, but we need to confirm the order and delivery to our buyer within 48 hours. This is very challenging.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we receive a lot of such requests or questions from a lot of our existing customer or even new customer that they have a lot of style complexities, and orders nowadays become so small, right? Get into like 50 pieces, 80 pieces, 100 pieces per PO, right? So each time they receive a new buy, right? It's like hundreds of orders with very small quantity. Okay, so I'm going to use another model, right, to show this thing. Sorry. Okay, so this model, right, it's a special model where we think that it's going to help fix this problem is in terms of style complexity and the small order value. So if we receive new orders, okay, for example, right, I have orders already planned in the next 6 weeks, right? It's normal, right? You have confirmed orders, you have already planned them, you have already applied efficiencies and everything, planned it on the right sewing line. Now you have a new buy coming in for a new season, right, or whatever. So for example, here I have got like 480 new order, new job. The total number of quantity is about 270,000 pieces or more. All right. So all this quantity, if you look at the quantities like 50 pieces, 90 pieces, 70 pieces, very small quantities, right? Or even 100 plus, 200 plus, right? How can we quickly plan these orders, right, with small quantity? And we need to confirm back to our buyer, right? Nowadays, buyer are not waiting for 1 week for you to confirm back the orders. Some buyers, some big buyers like Adidas, Nike, they only give you like 2 days, 3 days, or even if the quicker you can return the reply to them, the more chance you will get to receive those orders. Okay. So we have 2 ways of planning here, right? One, of course, because you can see this is all the same style. So if I take, oops, sorry. So if I take these orders All right, so I can plan like 20 orders all at one time. I can choose all of them together and then choose which line to plan. So if you can see those small orders coming with my mouse, I can choose to plan them all at one time because they are all same delivery, same style. I can plan all of them in any line that I want. The one with the highest, the highest, the earliest complete date with the less late orders, I can put it there, or I can put it into another line. It's up to me. Yeah, that's a quick way of planning multiple order at a time. Or I have another way, right, where I can plan all these 480 orders all at one time, right? So what I can do is we have FastReact have a function called, right, close and open again. Okay. Yeah. FastReact have a function called line level automated planning module, right? We call it LLAPS, right? Where you can set a predefined rule. So on my case here, I have got like 4 different rules that I have set. However, I'm going to just try to plan it using 1 or 2 rules here to show you how quickly FastReact can choose the rule and strategy that you have set within the system to plan all of the orders received within less than 1 minute. So if I try to plan this plan for efficiency, you can see, right? Those 480 orders are slowly being, looking at the rules, looking at the strategy that we have set for each company, right? For your way of working principle, and it try to plan them onto each sewing line, filling up the capacities, right? Because what I have chosen just now is plan for efficiency. So it's trying to plan onto the line with the highest efficiencies, continuing the same style, same product to have less style change. So, which is why I still having some orders shipped late, but it's still not a lot, right? And it's not going to happen today. It's going to happen in the next 3 months. So you still have chance to fix it, right? So if I use plan for efficiencies, it's showing some orders ship late, right? However, if I try to plan again using plan for delivery, so prioritize on the delivery, right? I'm okay with a little bit higher, a little bit lower efficiencies, right? But plan for delivery. So what the system is going to do, again, is going to take those 480 orders, plan them, right, onto the line. Now you can see that some orders have got critical path problem, but I think we can fix it. But the rest of the orders don't really have the delivery problem. Okay. Yeah. So answering the question, to quickly fix the style complexity and the small orders value, I can do it within minutes, right? I can quickly generate a report and say, okay, some order is going to be shipped a little bit late. Some order will have problem with the supplier, but most 99% of the orders I can accept, right? So you can quickly reply to your buyer. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Peter. I think for this scenario, it brings me to have the next question, right? Because I think if for the manufacturer, they need to choose the best planning for them, right? So we might have the different scenario that you just shared. So how can we have the scenario planning and then we compare the cost and benefit before we apply, the selected plan into our production?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So again, so it's basically saying that, if how can I have a different some people call it scenario planning, some people call it multiple plan, which one is the best plan. Some people, they do different planning on Excel or do different planning in FastReactPlan, and then they generate the report, and then they ask their boss to approve whether which is the best plan so that they can apply it to the production. Right? So the same thing here, like what I mentioned earlier, we have a set of rule which we have defined, right? So if I go into the set of rule here, so here is just example 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Plan for efficiency, plan for delivery with some order split, delivery with some order split, plus also checking the material, right? Again, I'm not going to go into all of this and explain all of these features and function, how to set it up, but just to rest assured that we can set this rule following the way that you currently plan in your factory in our system, and then we can apply them following this rule, and then we can use them to do automatic planning. Okay, so before running or applying the rule and the strategy, right? What FastReactPlan have in terms of our LLAPS is we can check the scoring, right? So we can very quickly check if I run this first rule, how many late orders I will have. If I run this first rule, how many % of my order will be on time? What is going to be my average efficiencies? So I can, before I run this rule, I can score my plan. This is what we call the plan scoring. So what basically this system is going to do is, if I try to run the score here now, right? System is going to go for the current plan, and then it will try to score for the efficiency. It will try to score for the delivery. Yeah. Okay, so now it's trying to score for the delivery. A little bit sorry here that the display here has moved a little bit. The plan for efficiency is this second row. Plan for delivery is this third row, right? However, you can very quickly see that without planning those 480 orders onto the board, I can see if I run this first plan, I will get 65% efficiency. If I run this plan for delivery, I'm getting lower efficiency, but I get less late orders. Okay, I get less. So this is like a scenario planning. You can run more, right? If you have 10 different rules, you can run the score for 10 different plans, scenario planning, and then you can choose which to apply. So if now I want to apply for plan for efficiency, simply I can just double click on this plan for efficiency, and then system will start planning using the plan for efficiency. Yeah. Right. So trying to plan with plan for efficiency, like I told you earlier, we still have late orders with light blue, dark blue, right? Showing this. Of course, with this plan for efficiencies, you can also run a report to look at the late air shipment, right? Whether how many orders going to be shipped late. So this is the list of order going to be shipped late. This is the amount of air shipment that you need to pay for, right? But with this, you get 65% efficiency, remember? But again, if you try to run another one for plan for delivery, very obviously you can see that there's going to be no late orders at all. So you will not have any late, any penalty, not too much, not at least some, but it's light blue. So it's only 1 day late, 2 days late. I think you can fix them easily, without needing to pay any air shipment. So it's up to you, right, as a company, whether cost of 1% efficiencies versus the late air shipment, which is more costly, right? Which one is more costly to you? So it's up to you. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I think that this is very benefits in terms of before make decision, right? We have the different scenario and select the best one for our business. So hope you have the better view of how FastReactPlan could automate the planning process to be faster and accurate. So you can clearly compare the way that you make the Excel spreadsheet planning versus automate planning system that Peter just showed you. I just want to highlight, to recap. So our automate planning system can give you the more realistic plan. You can only have one-time data entry, and then it will share across the business as one single of the truth. it can also help you to prioritize the job and improve the coordination and communication and give you the automated notification, highlight the problem. And at the end, it helps you to measure business performance and KPI. Yeah. So this is all it, which means the FastReactPlan system can remove your last minute firefighting and solve problem and ensure that now if you consider your daily manufacturing operation challenge, 80% that affect your business, that how FastReactPlan can help you to remove and increase your efficiency and on-time delivery performance. So now I'm very glad to hand over and welcome our important guest, Mr. Charampon. He will share the real business case, how he applied technology, inclusive FastReactPlan, to his business and get its success.
So thank you, Kun Ma'am, for the introduction. So at VTG, we help create sustainable outerwear, sportswear, and protective equipment that is built to last and be passed on future generations. This achievement is made possible through lean smart factory practices and fair trade. The challenge in the industry is that the fashion industry and garment production operate within the constraints of time, which coincidentally is the most treasured limited resource that we have in the world. No one in this world has more than 24 hours a day. In garment production, timing is of an essence. We are bound by seasons, and missing deadlines may result in shifting to air shipment, eroding margins for manufacturers. Due to this time limitation and the migrate of consumer demands in style, color, and size, garment manufacturers must compete on lead time. So let me just illustrate using this PowerPoint slide so that you can see what I mean. So why is having short lead time so important? As I mentioned earlier, that we have a big challenge in the fact that we have a migrate of consumer demands. No one is actually wearing the same style, let alone the same color and the same size. So you can imagine that the complexity of how do we meet the demand of the customer. And the fact that this challenge actually has a very profound effect, because over 35% of clothing that are sold are actually sold at discounted prices. So in effect, it's actually eroding the margins of brands. So how does lead time help to reduce this uncertainty and create a better, also obviously a better world for everyone, because we're producing what is needed, and also a better margin for everyone involved, including the brands as well as the manufacturers. So let me just show you. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, we are bound by seasons. So for example, we have spring and summer, especially in countries that have seasons like in Western Europe, in the US, or in Japan. So if you say the lead time from purchase order until delivery of goods is 3 months. So what this means is that we are actually producing what is needed in June well before when it's needed. Meaning we start production in March in order to have the goods arrive in the stores in June. As you could imagine, we face this challenge every day. For example, weather forecast. The weather forecast is much more accurate when you forecast tomorrow versus in 3 weeks. Because in 3 weeks, you're making a guesswork as to what would happen in 3 weeks. Likewise, when we are actually purchasing something in order to fulfill the demands in June, we are making a guesswork. For example, this is a very simplistic view, but it has a profound effect. So for example, if we were to place 50 pieces of pants and 50 pieces of shorts, but when it reaches the store, we found that shorts are all sold out, whereas pants, only 5 pieces out of 50 are actually sold. And even at discount prices, only 10 pieces are sold. So we have 2 issues here. One is the opportunity cost in terms of not being to know how much shorts can be sold. So in effect, meaning if we were to place the order in June, we would get the shorts at the end of August, which is the end of the season. There's no point even doing it because the lead time is so long. And then the obvious case that we were trying to say is, despite the discount, we still haven't sold all the pants. What if the lead time was half? Say, we would get this picture. If the lead time is half, we can actually produce in smaller lots and you can do a trial error. For example, we can try 20 pieces of pants, 20 pieces of shorts, and then you find out that shorts are all sold out. And it's still in season to actually produce more shorts. And then you sell everything. So this is a very simplistic view, but it just demonstrates the point that the shorter the lead time, the more competitive a manufacturer becomes. And also, for the brand point of view, they don't actually have to sell at discount prices. So these are the challenges that we have in our industry. A lot of emphasis has been placed on finding the cheapest place to produce. But that's not necessarily the case, because if we can produce in a short lead time, we can all avoid discount prices, which hurts everyone in the supply chain. Now, I just want to come to the next point, which is how we use FastReact and how FastReact can help to realize this dream. First of all, I want to mention the difference between using a Gantt chart to plan versus a table. This is a very simplistic view again, but it just demonstrates that if a simple thing, you can make it understandable, more complex cases has much more profound effect. So if we were to have 3 production lines, and each line, the table shows which style is being produced where, and when it starts and when it ends. This is a typical table that you would see in any manufacturing plant. Is the table informative? Is it good enough to be able to react and make a quick decision as to what move do we need to do in order to make sure that we satisfy the customer, and also to maximize the productivity which is required in the factories? What if we change it to a Gantt chart? So the style A, B, C, and D. So we are changing the picture from the top, which is a table, into something that we can use and make powerful decision. For example, the diagram below, the Gantt chart, will show which style is being made and when it starts and when it ends. And you can see that a picture is worth 1,000 words. You can see straight away when it starts. You can see it straight away when it ends. And in our industry, it's very important that we plan the start accurately, because there's a change in style. And that change in style needs to be done quickly to minimize the loss of production. If you can see as a Gantt chart, you can plan when the style change will occur, and then you can actually prepare before it happens. And also the other point that the table failed to demonstrate, but the Gantt chart demonstrates very clearly, is where we have gaps. So you can see from the Gantt chart below that there's a week of no work for line 2 and 2 weeks of no work for line 3. Whereas in the table, you cannot see unless you really dig in, okay? Now, so I just want to emphasize that a picture is worth 1,000 words. And another point that I want to emphasize is, how do we make use of data in order to maximize the output, the productivity, and also delivery to the customer in the best quality product? If in FastReact, we are able to see in different formats. For example, the Gantt chart below shows in style, but the bottom, you can show it in as product types. And since we are a labor-intensive industry, which we still now requires skill, we can make a better and more informed decision as to how do we make a different decision and make sure that we get the productivity as well as customer satisfaction. So, for example, if line 3 is more accustomed to making jackets, it would make more sense to shift the production from line 2 to line 3. And then find more polo shirts products for line 2 to produce. In that way, we will be able to promise the customer not only in terms of delivery, but also in terms of quality of the products. I hope this demonstrates the visual and the benefits that we have. So in summary, FastReact provides visibility. It allows planners to make accurate and informed decisions quickly, thus reclaiming the valuable time that I mentioned about. That is the most valuable resource that we have in the world, which is much more important than oil and other resources. The other thing that I wanted to mention is event management. Event management in FastReact is of paramount importance because FastReact understands our industry. I think the understanding of the industry is very important because the clothing industry is quite unique in the way we see issues. And having a tailor-made product for the clothing industry helps to make sure that we address the right problems and correct the pain points. So by better preparing before the start of production, we can actually significantly improve efficiency and ultimately margins. Improved planning also benefits our customer, ensuring accurate delivery of finished goods and keeping shelves stocked with items that the consumers want, not the items that we can produce. So going back to the lead time issue, if we can actually see the event prior, basically a checklist of what needs to be done to make sure that we can actually start production on time. So hopefully, if we can start production on time, we can end production on time as well. So it really helps with the capability, enhancing the capability to promise, to deliver as well, okay? So last but not least is the latest development. I just want to touch upon the advanced planning system, which is the LLAPS. I've used it for a number of years now. So how does it help me? Instead of planning each scenario individually, for example, in the case that when you plan, there's always a benefit and a loss. There's no such thing as a perfect plan. Some plans yield the best efficiency, but maybe not necessarily comply to customer delivery dates. Likewise, if we emphasize too much on delivery dates, we may actually have a lot of change in style, and that hinders high efficiency. So how do we ensure that we have a balance in between? Ensuring the balance between means that we need to be able to plan different scenarios quickly and make an informed decision as to which scenario we want to emphasize and which is the best in the case that satisfy the customer demand, as well as maintaining our own margins or efficiency. For example, if each scenario were to take 2 hours to plan, so if we have 2 scenarios, just very simple 2 scenarios, highlighting efficiency, and the other one, delivery dates, it takes 4 hours just to plan. And then, but if you use the APS, it means that you can actually have 3 or 4 scenarios at the same time. And each scenario is actually given a numerical value that can help us make a informed decision quickly as to which scenario is best for the company and also for the customer. So I think this is very important because it actually enhances customer satisfaction by allowing us to respond promptly to their demands. So with that, I would like to end my answer to the question. Thank you very much.
Okay. So thank you very much, Kun Charampon, for very nice presentation. I think now we come to the last part of the webinar for the Q&A session, and look at the time remaining. Why I think we have a lot of the good questions, so we will extend another 10 minutes for Q&A session, and then I will hand over to Peter to help answer the question. Yeah, and if any question related to me or Mr. Charampon, we will manage. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I think we have, as ma'am mentioned, we have quite many questions coming in during the session. Let me just take a few questions from now. I think we have the first question coming in, and this question is to Mr. Charampon, right? So to Mr. Charampon, the question is, can you please share the experiences that FastReactPlan or Code Digital team when they implemented the auto planning, the APS at VT Garment?
Okay, sure, of course. Just to give you context as to how long I've been using FastReact. In fact, VT Garment has been using FastReact for God knows how long, over 20 years. And since I've been with the company for the past 17 years, we as far as I can recall, we started using FastReact even before I joined. So and a few years back, when we were making a decision to invest in the auto planning, so the LLAPS, we were trying to make use of the data that we have. So we have the data regarding production output for the past 10 years on our record. And we wanted to be able to leverage this data that we have so that we maximize the potential benefit gains, the efficiency gain and things from using the FastReact. So and that's why we partner with Code Digital to implement the new LLAPS. And the key benefits would be, as I mentioned already, that the software is very focused on garment. So in that aspect, they understand our industry very well. The fact that we still require learning curves, it doesn't mean that on the first day of production of new style, the production efficiency would be maximized on the first day. So basically, we were able to make the software extremely flexible and adaptable to the requirements of our company. We were able to get the report that we needed, and also the input in terms of the use of data that we have was very, very flexible, and it was able to accommodate the vast array of quite complex input of data that we had, and to yield very good results. So we had a efficiency increase, and also so the payback, the ROI of the project was very short. It's less than a year. So thanks to the team. So that would be my answer to the question.
Okay, thanks a lot, Charampon. I think let's move on to the next question. We have the next question coming in asking about can FastReactPlan do plan versus actual report? I think this question is to me. Okay, so I'll answer this question then. Yes, of course, FastReactPlan can generate the plan versus actual information or part of our KPI report, which this is a very basic things that FastReact can do, right? FastReactPlan system can do. We do keep the historic plan information, and then we interface the actual coming from your shop floor system or your RFID system or your scanning system. We then compare that to give you the plan versus actual, right? To see is how accurate is your plan, right? So that's definitely possible. Okay. We have another question, a few questions coming in. Let me go through the question. What's the data and the logic behind of the rules and the strategies for the auto planning? Okay, I guess this question is coming to me again, right? Okay, as per what Mr. Sharampon mentioned as well, we look at historic information, right? So historic information being kept in your company or in your system, right? We interface or integrate those information back into FastReact. We look at those for examples, your plan efficiencies, your actual performance efficiencies by line, by product type. We look at those information, and then the system will decide which line is best to plan on this product or this style, right? So this is just one of the settings and the rule that we can set. We can go into delivery. So for each customers, you can also set whether the tolerance that you can accept for the delay. So the auto planning will choose the best line with the earliest complete date, with the least late shipment, so that it gives you the best, it optimize your plan. So that's part of the logic that we can do, right? But there's a lot more we can do in terms of that. Okay, go more question. Is it possible to make follow-up KPI scores or KPI reports, production line status, on-time delivery performance on the system? Yes, of course. Like mentioned to you, right? We do keep our historic information in terms of your line performance. We look at efficiencies. We look at on-time shipment. So the data will be coming in from your ERP, the actual shipment, and the delivery dates, the revised delivery date. So definitely you can get your on-time delivery performance, whether it's referring to the first shipment date or second shipment date, right? In different way, we can do that. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if we have any other question. Right. Okay. A system option for smaller companies, for example, single site or less than 20 production line. Ma'am, I think this question is to you. If you want to answer.
Thank you, Peter. Actually, for our course, right, we have the package to match with your business. I think for further information, we will come back, because we need to understand it's not just sewing line. It's need to understand implementation scope, that kind of thing. Yeah. So we I rest assured to follow up. Yeah, to give you the detail. Yeah. But we say that we have different kind of package. It depends on how many sewing lines and what kind of modules you want. That will we need to consider the implementation and training scope. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Next question. I think probably this is also to you, ma'am. Is this tool just for apparel industry, or we can also apply it to other industry as well? Only apparel or other industry as well?
Okay. Actually, for FastReactPlan, we developed the software almost 30 years, and we are very focused, for specific industry. We can say that almost 90% or 80% of our customer is apparel manufacturer, but we also can implement and support another fashion industry, include footwear manufacturer, bag, accessory, sock, and if you have textile mill or like knit, weaving, and dye manufacturers, we also have another module to cover that kind of industry and business as well.
Okay. Yeah. Let me take a few more questions while we still have a few more minutes. Yeah. So if we have ERP or shop floor system, so can the tool be linked to other system to ensure and digitize the process? Yes. Yeah, let me answer this one. So we do have a lot of customer globally, right, around the world who are using different ERP system or even different shop floor system or scanning system and in the production floor. We have integrated with this system for many projects in the past 20 years. Right. So to answer this, yes, we can link the data from different front end and the back end system to ensure that the data flow from ERP to FastReact, and some customer we can also send the data from FastReact back to the ERP because you will need the planning result to for example to order your materials. Yeah, so we can do this integration. Yeah. Okay. I think okay, I think that's about it. It's almost time. Yeah. 10 minutes. Yeah. Okay. I think ma'am, you want to close the session?
Okay, I
Okay.
think so thank you very much everyone who joined our webinar today. We hope that at least we can give you some more idea of how FastReactPlan can help manufacturer. It's not only garment, okay, that we mentioned, right? Also footwear, as another accessory, sock or textile business. And please, we will have follow-up email. So anyone who dropped the question and will not come back, be rest assured that we will send the follow-up email and answer all of your question. Okay, and more important, we would like to thank you, Mr. Trampon, for joining us as the special guest. Okay, so thank you and bye bye everyone.
Goodbye everyone.
Bye.